With the OMES chair, you're going to get tons of adjustability. So this has basically everything you could ask for. It has the back height, seat depth, tons of arm adjustments. What's nice about that, you can really get it to fit you well. The only negative there is it does add a little bit of that sound. Like you can hear is a little bit of movement in some of the parts, which doesn't really affect comfort, but it maybe affects my brain of how much I would love to sit in this chair. So it does have that thicker seat, and I kind of like the contour. Even though it looks really aggressive, you don't necessarily feel that. You can sink into it nicely, but it can get a little bit warmer than some of these other chairs we've talked about. So for me, this is going to be a solid B.
For me, I think it's quite a bit above average. The seat pad is one of the things you'll notice right away. You can see it's thicker. It's got this deep contour in it, but when you actually sit in it, it's not a type of chair where you like sink so far down it kind of locks you in. It almost sits you up on top of the poof. These arm pads are insanely massive. There's width, depth, pivot adjustment, so you're going to get good range, and you can actually get them even wider with the way that it connects on the bottom here. And then you can see it's got this nice ratchet back height for the backrest, meaning you can move the lumbar up and down and get that backrest a little bit taller. One thing you don't see is there is a headrest option, which we've actually rated as an A. So if you put that on here, this chair is easily an A for me.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. I'm not going to be quite up to the A tier on this one, but I do like a lot of things about the chair. One, the seat, like Greg said, it's one of the few chairs that you're going to get that actually has a thick padded seat, but it's not going to affect you negatively by, crunching your lower back down or feeling like you're sinking super far into the seat and making you warm. And I think the arms are borderline S tier on this thing because the pads are huge, they're very comfortable, and it has potentially the biggest adjustment range of any chair in the room. My biggest gripe with the chair is going to be just the backrest. I don't think that it has the most comfortable mesh. The frame can feel a little bit plasticky, and for someone who doesn't love a lot of lumbar support, I feel like the chair's lacking in lumbar support. So that's my main reason for not pushing it up to A tier. So we're going to be at a B+ average overall on this. For me, the Steelcase Amia is going to be your prototypical A-tier chair. I think it is phenomenally comfortable, but I don't think it quite has the extras to push it up to that S tier. But when we look at the seat comfort, the pad is amazing. It sits really comfortable. It doesn't quite have the flexibility that you're going to see on chairs like the Gesture or the Leap. The arms, though, phenomenal. And then the backrest is great. I think that the lumbar system in the Amia on its own is more comfortable than the one in the Leap because it's built in. It's actually more incorporated with the back than the Leap chair, which sounds kind of backwards, being that it's quite a bit less expensive. But I just think that overall it's super, super comfortable, but I'm going to be at an A on this one.
I just love the Amia seat, possibly my favorite of any chair out here. The only downside, it's not even really a downside, is I don't like the backrest quite as much as the Leap. So I'm kind of going to reserve that S tier for different chairs later in the list here. But kind of like Ryan said, I mean, the arms are just amazing. That lumbar feels really nice, how it's incorporated in the backrest. Very unique design, whereas the Leap is more like a piece that you can easily take out. So all around, it's an amazing chair. That's why it's going to still be at an A for me. But man, that seat is S tier.
It's really interesting because Ryan's take on lumbar is so much different than mine, but we both really enjoy this chair. Like, I feel like it has enough lumbar for me to be comfortable. The arms on these are what you would get on the Leap, which is significantly more expensive. The seat pad is by far my most comfortable seat overall of all of the chairs. I know it doesn't have seat tilt limiter, but what I do is I just unlock this back right here, unlock it, and I crank my tension, and then I just kind of free float with the friction in the mechanism to eliminate what the tilt limiter does, basically. Overall, this chair is fantastic. I sit in these all the time, all day long. It's an S tier chair for me all around. I know that we've got a couple people here that don't see it that way, and so I'm gonna have to go A tier overall, but guys, this thing's awesome.
If you want to see how we rank all of the most popular chairs, head over to BTODtv to see our full office chair tier list. Click the link in the description.